Here's a first look at Dassana, a continuous threat exposure management platform. Once you sign up, you'll be greeted by Dassana's App Store. This is where you start to integrate all of your tools into the exposure management platform. Dassana supports integrations for nearly every security category, from EDR, vuln scanning, CSPM, code security, data security, and even direct cloud integrations, as well as CMDBs. You can get started in under a minute. Simply choose a tool of your choice, name it, paste in your API keys, choose the data you want to bring in, and hit save. Dassana in the background will validate the credentials and its associated permissions and start to bring in the data. It was that simple. Now we can start to get value from the platform. Once you've integrated data sources, you can immediately start to identify blind spots in your environment. I've brought in some demo data, which contains about 500 server resources. Of those, it appears 17 have been discovered by Wiz, but are missing my agent-based solutions like CrowdStrike and Tenable. And 2 of those appear to actually be business critical, and I need to remediate this blind spot immediately. Once I'm done, I may want to set up an automation to notify me whenever such a blind spot appears again in the future. Once you've removed important blind spots, and you're confident that your tools are scanning your entire environment, it's time to start prioritizing the risks and alerts those scanners produce. Although this is demo data, it highlights a very real problem that enterprises face today, an overload in risks and fatigue from the number of alerts. Dassana layers on external threat intelligence, as well as asset intelligence like network geography and identity context, and finally asset business criticality, to determine what are the topmost priorities you need to focus on today, finding the needles in the haystack. Security engineers can get more information about those prioritized risks, as well as the associated assets within the Dassana platform, and customers today are already connecting ticketing systems like Jira to intelligently group risks into bundled tickets and cut them to appropriate engineering teams with fixed information. Now that we've removed blind spots and prioritized our most material risks, it's time to start using the Insights module to uncover new patterns, visualize trends, and communicate to stakeholders like the board about our security program. This panel is showing me 4 different insights: threat exposure, threat readiness, compliance of our assets according to popular risk frameworks, and overall effectiveness of our security controls. If I dive into readiness, I can see 4 different insights that make up this measure. We look at asset ownership. If we have a good idea of who owns an asset, when a new threat appears, the mean time to communicate and mean time to remediate is a lot faster. We also look at the coverage of our security tools across this estate. How confident are we that when a new threat appears, our tool will detect it? As well as things like technology debt. What's the upcoming end-of-life percentage in our infrastructure? Dassana's Insights platform is super customizable. You can build insights in any way that you'd like. We have a visual insight builder and a feature that a lot of enterprises really enjoy, which is a full-blown SQL interface to build really custom insights. Finally, we just launched a CISO Copilot, which makes it really easy to ask and answer any question about your security data to get insights within seconds. For example, I may want to know, what assets do I have that are both misconfigured and have an active threat? Typically, this would be a laborious process, as I'd have to look at my asset inventory, correlate that with cloud misconfiguration data, perhaps from Wiz, as well as active threat data from my EDR tool, like a CrowdStrike. All 3 of these I've integrated in the Dassana platform, and the CISO Copilot can intelligently search my data and return results for me.